Charity is down by my feet here. So I realized that you cannot see the top of my head, so we will call this the Headless Mad Shad video, yes. But you can't see my feet, and that's more important. My feet and my core. Now you can see my face, right? Hey, how you doing? Greetings from the Ivory Coast. This is Mad Shad. This is another inspired video. I used inspired by XNYC. Now I've spent a lot of time messing around with sticks and stuff, you know, and weapons of all types, you know, all types, and there's a commonality to them all. So, you know, this is the same size of my axe. Not the same weight, of course, but and that's another thing I wanted to touch on, is that I'm using a cheap training aid. This is light, it's easy to manipulate, right? And it's good for training, to be able to get the movements and get everything. You want to go slow, right? If you're gonna, you want to, starting out, you want to go slow, and you want to get speed, you want to get, you know, maneuverability, you want to get all these things, and that can only be achieved through, at first, through a light weapon, training weapon. Now later on, you know, you gradually pick up the pace, so to speak, in your training. And you go on to heavier weapons and heavier weapons, longer weapons, heavier weapons, more deadly weapons, and then it takes a little bit of it takes technique, relaxation, and strength. I know that sounds weird, but in Kung Fu and in a lot of fighting styles, that's where the whole Wing Chun or the Tai Chi thing comes in. We all know, we've heard of Tai Chi. And Tai Chi, some of the basic principles that apply in Tai Chi also apply into fighting. So actual martial art fighting, blood's pumping, adrenaline's rushing. You're not in a calm fucking state. You're killing, and you're using all your might, all your power, because that's what your adrenaline does. But we forget to breathe. So breathing, you can dynamic breathe, you know? You see a lot of this in Japanese arts as well, you know, the kia, right? What that does, and I have to practice more breathing because I am talking as well. So talking, it's very, very exhausting. It can be, but you got to breathe. But when training in for fighting, the slower and more deliberate that you do it, and more relaxed that you do it, you'll realize how fast you are. Yes, you can swing like that. Same thing principle applies in baseball, golf, hockey, anything that uses a two-handed or one-hand, tennis for that matter, one-handed. This you have to practice some kind of preservation. Guess I'm sitting down and talking for a while because you can't see my head. So breathing in, you can breathe in as you're blocking. If you know, see, that's the thing. If you're breathing in and you're blocking, you're breathing out, exhaling as you strike or go forward. Going even backwards, you're breathing in. Catch your breath, and you'll feel the power that comes from the exhale and the strike. That's why you see a lot of, you know, that's a cool trick, huh? You know, a lot of, and you'll see that in the samurai Kempo and the Kendo competitions, you know, things like that. It's all about breathing, control, It's, yeah, you can swing it wildly like a madman, berserker mode. But even the berserker learns that there has to be you have to come to a point in time when your manipulation of the weapon is allowing the weapon to work for you. Just by simply and relaxing, you can get the same, because this is a tool, and a tool is made for mechanical advantage. I am gaining a mechanical advantage by the way of just swinging. Same thing with an axe, right? You want to spend all day, or you want to, because you're working here, let the axe fall, let the axe strike, and you just guide it. You're guiding it down, you're guiding it to its target. And while you're in a relaxed state, you will have more focus. And of course, you will put away your emotions and you'll be able to think. So that first and foremost applies to everything as well, right? Everything. So even this, even the presentation of modern day weapons, these principles have applied and have served greatly. You see the great fencing masters. I'm serious, fencing, with the epee or whatever, and rapier, whatever class it is, those world class. You see when they throw it out, when they get in that big, deep, long stance, when they go to strike and they're way out here like this, they're like this. Oh man, but they get to that point from here where they're just boom, gotcha, and it's quick. Same thing with a charge. I was already cocked. My ankle was up, Jeet Kune Do. That's where Jeet Kune Do got its footwork from. A lot of it was from fencing, boom. Fencing and fencing theory. A lot of breathing involved in that as well. Relaxation, letting it fly. Boxing, same thing. When you're throwing that punch, you could put some power into it, but all that is needed. All that is needed. And I've inhaled and I've exhaled and I've sent the punch. It's already there. Boom. Same thing applies with weaponry. Same thing. That applies in all real aspects of fighting, really, and sports. The Olympics, they all train in this manner, and they achieve peak performance. This way, training this way, and and going for the gold, basically. That's how you do it. Visualizing, right? So that's why we train. That's why we train to not only our bodies, but our minds as well. And the discipline it involves. Okay, I know that I'm going to be in this fight for my life. It's because you resort back, when the shit hits the fan, you resort back to your worst possible training. Your worst, not your best, your worst. In any type of venture, you always overestimate the negatives, underestimate the positives. What if you've already, boom, lost first strike capability. You've already been hit and wounded. Now you're at a total disadvantage. Shit. Now you have to fight. Are you going to be able to bring your A game? No. Not all the time. And yes, that's something you have to know about yourself and realize. Now think about it as a scale, as a flow chart. If you're worst, in the worst possible conditions, which you've been eventually training for, and you are better than the person you're fighting's best, who do you think is going to win? Because all it takes for you at your worst is to just give a little bit more effort, give a little bit more thought process, more action, more wisdom to be victorious and to be dominant in the fight and dominant in your actions. Now that also means, and that's the thing, that also means in escape and evasion, disengaging from the fight. You have to be smart, you have to be relaxed in this crazy time of E&E. You know, when you're being attacked, you've already probably been wounded, and you're literally fighting for your life or fighting to get safe. You know, not even throw in the mix that maybe you have your child with you, and now you're fighting for their life as well. But for you to succeed in saving their life, you have to be better than the other person. You've probably already been wounded or whatnot, what have you. So scenario trading and thinking in that way, the worst possible condition, the worst possible case scenario, you've lost an arm. That's how your mindset has to be when you trade. And you will be victorious over most. I say most because think about it as a flow chart. You're not at the top of the flow chart. No. Oh no, there's people above you. So, and you will meet them in your travels. You probably already have. So you always have to think that way. Now, yes, confidence is something. Yes, something has to be said about that, you know. But that only comes with knowledge. Those who are confident and stupid usually are led easily to their death. Those that are confident and wise and know why they are feeling confident, because their abilities, the strengths and weaknesses, all that has played into your favor, that you can ascertain from the enemy. So you know, your adversary, whatever it is. So that's very important too. It's very important, and you'll hear about this if you study the works and teachings of Bruce Lee, Jeet Kune Do, as well as the great master Sun Tzu, you know, which talks in a maritime warfare mindset, you know, grand scale, but it's all the same. Martial arts is all the same. It's martial arts. The art of war. I mean, Sun Tzu's book, Art of War, should be called martial arts. Anyway, so everybody had this fluid motion. To be more fluid is your goal. And to achieve fluidity with your movements requires a quieting of the mind and quieting of and relaxing and knowledge of what your body's doing. You know what your strengths are. Like this, I love that. That's my go-to. It's always coming. Always look for it. It's going to get you. That one right there. Boom, is coming. And that's always, you know, that's what I've learned through you know, just constant practice and watching everybody. Watch the guys that the people that compete that are better than you. Watch how they work. You know, bam, they and how they do it. Study them and try to mimic their actions. You know, and you'll get some ideas. You'll see. Wow, you might not be as good as them, but you know you'll be pretty damn good. Surprise people. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about all that first until getting it. So to set up the type of training that I want to showcase here and movements, right? So, and a lot of them, you know, is fluid. It's very fluid. You know, when you get into the joint lock manipulation stuff, which I wish I had somebody to break their bones instead of mine, but that's probably for another day. It's probably my favorite one right there. I love that one. Coming up with these combinations, boom, straight up, right? You know, you're carrying your cane, and you just take a step forward, boom, it comes up. Now it needs a little preparation here because you need your hook forward, right? So I like to go hook forward, you know, and then go for the strike, boom. And the strike is, and I'm following through. I'm not just hitting, pop. I'm flowing through, right? Flowing through, boom, it comes up. Now I switch grip, right? Or you could, there's so many ways that you can think about how to do this. Boom, boom. I mean, maybe you've got some kind of cool little flip trick that you do. Boom, you know, bam. And what I've just done there is I've sent the, just with my location. Yeah, I know, I'm using my my vacuum cleaner. Instead of just hitting and stopping, feel the resistance and pull through, right? Now I can take a step forward, hook, hit and hook, and just pull, boom, or pull forward. Even if I pull forward, I'm grabbing everything, and then from there you can get from the neck with the hook, even if you miss. And now they're in a very compromising situation because their head is here, they're bent over, and you're at their neck. All you have to do is take a step forward and they fall down. So, you know, getting into manipulation, but flowing and footwork is footwork, and this is where you can relax and move, and it's very beneficial for your feet, your knees, if you do it slow. For your back, that's what Tai Chi does. Is it helps to, you know, loosen everything up. So you can get into these stances and movements. And you can just flow through it. It's very important. And then when you have to do it fast, you've already done it, you know, with a degree of certainty that you know it's going to work. And training, drilling, having a training partner is absolutely vital. It really is. But just doing, you can do work on your own and actually have fun with it. And you'll find you'll figure all kinds of things out. There you go, Jerry. Had to disappear. Charity needed me. And you'll also find that the most deliberate movements work the best. Like I said, when you're practicing and you're breathing, when you're being slow, you're not really focusing on speed. You're focusing on technique and getting the technique down first in a relaxed, slow pace, then working it up in speed, and you'll find that speed requires you to push just a little bit more power is needed. And you'll understand, oh shit, I can go all out with this you can go all out anyway, right? It's always an option. Just rage, go through it. Fuck it. Send 10,000 rounds down range and hope you hit once. That's the problem. If you do not cultivate this slow, relaxed, and fast hard, powerful style to a hard, powerful style without relaxation and focus, you lose focus. And you might as well just be swinging blind, fighting a tree, which does actually work anyway. That you'll totally miss the target. They will be more relaxed and more focused than you, and fall you, help hew you down. So hew down many foemen. Rah. So a flow, if you can get into a nice relaxed flow, and like I said, there's some certain just basic stuff, right? With the breathing, in coordination with your breathing and your movements, right? In Tai Chi, Qigong, it's you're breathing up and down. You're breathing up through your feet and down through your feet. And so you're establishing a relationship with gravity with your feet. Yes, that's what is your relationship to the ground? Are you grounded? Are you grounded in a good, powerful stance? Are you unshakable? Right? I've all heard about the horse stance. That's a great exercise to work out of and to build up your muscle strength. Rarely you'll find yourself in horse stance in a fight. It might happen, but it's a great. You can always transition. That's the great thing about it. It's a great transitionary stance. Always, I can do a lot from this. I can go to a nice deep hiking stance, or I can always, from a hiking stance, boom, go right back into like a nice deep defensive horse stance, cat stance, if you will, right? Where I've got most of my weight on my back foot, which means that it's loaded up. So I can explode with a lot of power and velocity naturally from the cat stance. Now I like to adopt a more, they call it tiger stance or Jeet Kune Do. Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do stance, where that you're on the ball of your foot and your heel is kind of hiked up. You're planted here. And all you got to do is just pick this foot up. Boom, and you've moved forward. And you decide where you want to step, in what direction. It all comes from your engine. You don't have to bring it up as much. You can literally raise your heel a couple of inches. A couple of inches and you'll feel it. Right? So, and that's simple walking, shuffling. So that in conjunction with breathing and movement, like I said, when you're breathing, you're breathing in, you're standing up. When you breathe out, you're dropping down, right? Backwards and forwards. I breathe in as I back up. Breathe out as I push forward. Like I said, the exhalation generates power. It does, because if you ever done it with just your mouth, you'll understand that breathing out tightens all these muscles and constricts your organs and brings your chest in more. It's actually more protective, and it puts your body in alignment, even the punch, right? The kick. Anyway, it's you can stick it if you want, but it's likened to taking a ball and chain, a chain with a heavy ball in the end, and throwing it out there, just and just letting it fly. Boom. So that's part of your generation of power, and it helps you in the long run with endurance. So down. Say I want to get some power. That's where this stance, the horse stance, comes from. You generate power just by getting into this stance. You know, from a standing position and a swinging downward, I just sit in a horse stance. And the farther out I can go, the deeper I can go and get more power naturally. And it, you know, really sends some damage downrange, devastating damage. So, some things to consider when training. And don't be afraid to play. You know, that's the key. Imagine that you're fighting somebody. And it's right in front of you, or multiple attackers, or a dragon, or whatever. You know, that visualization. You're imagining the attacker's attack, and your mind is already going what to do, right? You know, what do I do with this attack? If this guy's throwing this haymaker at me like this to the side, you know, will this work? You know, I don't think that, because that's my go-to, boom, right? As a good block, and also as a transition. Boom, I've blocked, and now I've transitioned, you know, boom, into a hit, just because of the block, right? And boom, it's usually from this side, from the right side, boom. I can come out to meet him, but I lose stability, right? So, you know, do I just want to go right in for the and block it and expose my hands to getting hit, whatever, you know, or do I move out? Do I move out of the way? Back up, change direction. Your mind's already thinking that, but it needs a lot of air. It needs a lot of air, and you need to expel a lot of the carbon dioxide in your body because you need fresh oxygen. Your muscles need fresh oxygen to operate at peak optimum performance, you know. And it's regardless of what's going on with you health-wise, you can always sit and train, right? You can always just sit there and just do basic fundamentals, right? You know, what's the saying? The saying goes, I don't remember, or I don't fear the man I don't fear the man that has perfected one kick one time, or he can do 1,000 kicks one time, but I fear the man that's practiced one kick 1,000 times, right? You know, if you're learning all these moves and you've got 1,000 moves in your repertoire, you don't sit there and practice them the same one over and over. 1, 2. Just over and over and over. Same thing, 1,000 times, whatever. Every day, the rest of your life, you're not going to be any good at it. You want your weaknesses to be your strengths, and the way you do that is through repetition, muscle memory, and you know, getting it done, putting in the sweat equity, right? And you'll realize that economy of motion works the best, especially if your best move is boom. You know, a very simple, basic technique. You know, it's over, and over. You know, and the thing is that true skill comes effortlessly. This is a saying in Kung Fu. True skill comes effortlessly, but only through arduous and long and lengthy practice. Arduous and lengthy practice, I think it's how it's pronounced, how it's translated. Over and over and over, repetition. That's how you train. That's how you train. So focus on that every day. Write your own training schedule. Today I'm going to work on this. That's it. That's all I'm going to do today. That's it. All day long. Bam. Whatever it is, or how do you go from here to here? Because I mess up. Are you gonna be able to do that in your worst case scenario? Boom. Pick movements that don't require a lot of finesse. Like me catching this, right? One movement, right? Boom. Boom. A transition that and get good at it. Boom. I've transitioned from here. Ooh, see, you fuck up to here. Boom. And a stab is always more dangerous than a whack. Think of this thing as a sword. It is, because it is. It's a sword. You can fight a sword with a cane. Yes, you can. You can fight a sword with a cane. It's not going to cut it in half. It's not going to do well. It's going to absorb a lot of damage. It is wood, but so is the sword, right? Hammers, machetes, right? You can fight off a hammer, a machete with a cane. Using the same principles, in martial arts, in war fighting. It's simple. And you just learn it, and you can fight these things. An axe, how do you fight an axe? Well, you run mostly. Keep your distance, but that's what fencing is, always keeping your distance and capitalizing on a certain moment, right? And defending, defending from the onslaught from your attacker, who's trying to poke you, he's trying to swing at you, he's going low, he's going up, down, and you're like, oh shit, here he comes, oh, I've parried, and I found an opening, and I go forward. Something has to be said about hunkering down and going forward, right? Being the oppressor, being dominant, seizing the dominance, right? You can sit there and just, it's so easy to just boom, boom. But at some point in time, you've got to close the gap so you can get in his face and eliminate the threat. Because from here, I have now closed the distance, and I've negated your striking, your power. I'm actually better protected closer to you than far away because you have a weapon, right? So now I can manipulate, body manipulate, and try for a takedown. If you close that gap, or just do some damage, really brutal damage. Start breaking stuff, because that's what you're doing. You're going forward and you're breaking things. If you're keeping your distance and only throwing at targets of opportunity, that's useful. Escape and evasion. Get away from me, bam, and I'm backing up. I'm out of the shot. That's a tactic, yes. And you can always be feinting. Oh shit, you're coming at me. Oh shit. Or and I've started my onslaught. Now I'm coming in, you know, and I'm looking to do damage to you. Because I caught you slipping, I took your weapon and you know, strongly pushed it to the side, creating an opening. So this move right here, it pushes everything on this lateral line coming from here. This is my right hand, this is my left hand. So I know it's all freaky, you know, mirrored over. So the attack is coming from this direction. I fent. It's coming at me straight forward on my line. So I fent. I pull it from your angle here. I pull it, make contact with it, pull it down, and now you're down here. Hello, how you doing? I can just go right in. You know, oh yeah. Or if it's too close, I can choke up on the weapon and get something closer, right? But I love a good fent. Good pull down. So, but that comes from practice as well. If you have a friend, remember when we used to play sticks as a kid? Do that with adults. You know? I mean, boom. You know, play. Go ahead. Come on. Boom. This is my stance. It's very menacing. Down low. As low as you can get, right? You're forward, right? And I'm also giving him a false sense of security. Maybe. You know, maybe he's stupid enough to hit right here. You know, go for my head. I can step back. I can just literally lean backwards, take a step backwards, and I'm out of range. I am now out of his range. You know, he tried to hit me. Whoom. Maybe I fented. Maybe I blocked and, you know, redirected him just enough. Oh, hello. For me to capitalize on his mistake. Or I've done that and now I've come in. He's already rushed or something. Oh shit, now I got to backpedal. You know? I always like to do this because it's a sword, right? Pointing the sword point at the enemy's eyes. You know? And same thing about the pike mentality. Whoosh, you know, you're holding a big pike and you're facing a charging army. Roar! You know, you can go ahead and brace yourself. Roar! And just let him fall into your point of your sword, right? And you know, I'm always a big fan of this. Even if he gets close, boom. Oh, what happened there? You know, boom, right to his neck, right to his face, in his general eye direction. Oh shit. Boom, I can angle it lower and go for the gut. You know, I wouldn't go for more than a gut. You pull it down to their nutsack, you start to lose stability in a bracing moment, a bracing stance. You know, it's good power stance, but they're short, very short, a short game, which can transition into the long game or once again into a short game, you know. But always keeping on your toes. And what ifing? What ifing, you know? Yes, say I've perfected this move, like I've practiced. The attack came forward. I take my in practice. You know, like I said, once again, I like to, but even if I miss, I'm kind of set up for one of those, or I can get dynamic with it. But I have to practice through it and breathe through it. So just some basic fundamentals that I wanted to carry I wanted to touch on in the last video, but I don't know. I get overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed in talking. Water. And don't forget to set. Sit and breathe. Like I said, just sitting. This is where you play. This is where you figure out some shit. Do some fancy maneuvers. Right? Do all that. I don't know. Now, I mean, when you want to get into locking stuff, you could, if you're practicing some locks, right? You know, or from here. So I've hit the opponent, and now I can do this. It's past his head. His head is now here, and I literally just put it behind my neck like this, and I have him right here, choking the shit out of him. It's also a good come along, right? You know, if you're into block trapping, you know, you can somewhat practice it, right? That's a classic one. They go to grab the weapon, and wherever they grab their hand, right? Just grab their hand and give it a good twist, or any other direction, depending on how they grab it. But boom, either way, that way, you've broken a wrist and you've broken their grab. They just can't hang on to it. Now the same thing applies to you. They can wrestle this from my hand, right? The thumb is the weakest point, so they can wrestle this and manipulate it out of my hand. But I still have this one. But if they get close, they can do the same thing and literally manipulate it out of my hand where I have no grip, right? It's hard for me to grip it like this as they're applying pressure, right? So the longer I hang on to this thing, boom, and I lose my grip integrity, then they've won. And I have to disengage or something, or, you know, move into it. And that's when you get into the whole different, you know, joint locks and counters, which is crazy stuff, and you will lose your freaking mind. But it's fun stuff. It is hard. It's not the fundamentals. Some would say they're advanced, but I'd say how? In that situation, if you find yourself in that situation where you can now try out, you can pull out your 1,000 times you've practiced that one little flick move. Sure, that'd be a crowd pleaser, but you know, will it work? Will it work in your worst case scenario? Worst condition, worst training, you know, will it work? Or is that person just immune to your defenses? You know, there's people out there like that. They're just immune. You know, you ever try to wrestle a contortionist? You know, he might have a steel plate in his arm. You know, there's people that have steel plates in their heads. So, are geeked out. They don't feel pain right now because they're on all kinds of stuff. You know, all kinds of pharmaceuticals and fun drugs, fun party favors from fun pharmaceuticals. You know, and think about this. You know, from a sci-fi standpoint, sci-fi prepper standpoint. Ooh, there you go, sci-fi prepper. What if you're fighting an enhanced human who just so happens to take his implants and hit the streets to be a super thief or a super robber, taking anything he wants from people? You know, yeah, think about that. The biotic man going rogue. How do you defeat that? How do you defend against that? With a cane, with a gun, with a knife, with a glass of water. You know, what do you do? Do you have a dew belt buckle that just shoots a direct energy weapon, microwaving all his metal parts up to 3,000 degrees in like 0.5 seconds? Yeah, that'd be fun. But hey. Hit his body with an EMP. You just so happen to have an EMP oh shit emitter. It's kind of like the new taser thing now. You just it's like the rescue me buttons. You push the button and boom, you send out an EMP pulse, disabling any kind of implants or AIs or androids around you. A 5 foot radius or some shit. That's some sci-fi prepper shit. Think about that. Or think about this: hackers that build an enormous Wi-Fi device built into their clothes, and it would detect the android or augmented human, and then automatically work to start hacking them with a fast probability of gaining total power and control of them. Do what you want, make them smack themselves, make them shut down, turn off their arm. My arm's off. Maybe there's a oh shit your pants button. I don't know. Think about that from a hacker standpoint. And yes, the governments, putting things in us, making us do things, making other people do things. You don't know. So how do you fight against that? How do you fight the mind controlling aliens? Do you put your tinfoil hat on and go to war with your sword or your cane because it's the only effective thing there is? A wooden implement, because all metal is they're like Magneto. They can expel metal. Have total control over it. I know, left field, but I love it. Just getting up and standing. Sitting down. Making sure that my feet are properly aligned. What to do? How do you get yourself out of this situation when you're sitting down after a walk in the park? Looking at the pigeons walk by, and you're maybe throwing some fucking peanuts at them. And along comes this fucking thug in a hoodie and goes, "Yo, give me your money." No. You want some peanuts? He goes to smack you, or he goes to kick you. Just simple movements like that. Maybe he goes to kick me and I catch it, and he kicks me anyway. Or I raise up and he goes to kick me, and I sit down, placing this right on his shin, and just maybe while standing up, I do this. Now he's done. I've got behind the kick as he's kicking me forward this way, and I just go and sit down, pushing his leg out of the way, possibly injuring himself, throwing him off balance, just with a simple movement, and breathing. And you'll find that when you do it in real time, you'll be actually breathing. You'll, oh shit, sorry about that. Where they come up, they're just, you practice it over and over and over and over and over and over until you got it, until you've learned it so much that you're doing it in your sleep, that you catch yourself doing it automatically, and then keep doing it, poking at his feet. Right? Whatever I want to do. Maybe, like I said, the most simple moves. I'm in the preparatory phase. I know he's coming. I got my hand here. A simple grip. I mean, practice that movement alone. And step it up. Make steps, you know, because one of my ultimate goals is to get to this point where I've just stood up and knocked you right in your head, you know, just by doing this. What? Oh yeah, motherfucker. Right. Now what, fool? Right? But say I didn't train that, you know, and I go from here to oh shit. Uh-oh. Right? I make a mistake. So that's why you gotta train and muscle memory, you know. And maybe you get yourself ready. You know, and every time you sit down, you automatically go to this grip. You know, I'm walking around. Now I'm standing here. Mm-hmm. And now I'm ready. And make a bunch of steps, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? And if you're worried about incorporate it all, right? So here you go. Break it all the way down to its most basic movements and breathe through it, right? And then go back if you want to, you know. Go back the same way. So break it all down so you can get to that point. And you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed of how brutal, how fast you'll be, and how relaxed you'll do it, and how quick you'll do it. Once you've learned it and you've done it for like 1,000 times, the same movement over and over and over, it will be effortlessly done. You will surprise yourself at how fast and accurate you did it. And you'll be like, you know, wham, fast forward, and you're like, oh shit, how did I get here? Hey, what happened, man? You okay? I'm so sorry. Here, let me help you up. Chomp. Boom. Oh, hey, how you doing? Chomp. Boom. Snap. Whatever you want to do. Breaking it down. That might be the title of this video. I like the old proverb, and that's the thing, you know. I don't fear a man that knows 1,000 kicks. That's it. He knows 1,000 kicks. I don't fear a man that knows 1,000 kicks. I fear the man that's done one kick 1,000 times, right? Or I think it was Bruce Lee, right? 10,000 times, yeah. I can just feel, I've done this so much. I can feel the power, it's moving everything, you know. I've done it like over 1,000 times. Just whatever. Take it out and just hold it out in front of you for as long as you can, right? There's so much you can do, but do it slow. Take steps. Breathe. Visualize your movements. It's the best way to to develop the mind-body coordination, right? The mind-body talk. Your mind has to be able, it moves, it's faster than the speed of light. It's the speed of thought. And then the speed of your nervous system to your muscles. So that your mind can say, do this. The better the mind-body connection is, the faster that process happens. And thy will be done, so to speak. And if you've built your body up because of this arduous practice, over and over and over again, slowly and then faster and faster and faster, until you can't breathe anymore. Your muscles are sore. You're sweating profusely. So when you're standing around and sitting around, you've already done the work. You've already paid the sweat equity to sit there and relax in the park. Feed the pigeons. And think about what that does to you. Just because you practice that one move 10,000 times and you're still practicing to this day because you still can do it. And that's the commitment that you've made for yourself, is to practice over and over and over. Until that point where you can literally sit in the park and enjoy feeding pigeons. And without fear. Fear is mind killer, right? Yeah. You're afraid of your neighborhood. Now you have no fear. Now you're exuding confidence. You can relax. Because you're putting that out there as well, and they see that. Everybody sees that. See, we're all attuned to each other. We're apex predators. We can sense what everybody's doing, how they're feeling, how they're weak. We're trying to sense weakness in people. That's the main reason why we look at people. Weakness, strength, weakness, strength, weakness, strength. We assess, we profile all the time. That's because of our predator mindset. Regardless if you're male, female, disabled, even a child. we know that kids can be pretty brutal sometimes and ruthless, especially with the name calling. In society, in any kind of group, species, even, that is the way that we interact with each other, all species on this planet, and I would argue most planets, all planets as well, until they've gotten to that God state, tier 1 society. Even then, I have my doubts, but danger exists, evil exists. So why wouldn't you train to protect yourself against danger, threats, and evil? And that's where practice comes in. And that develops your mindset. Even if you don't have the mindset, you practicing, you would develop the mindset. And in that, you would develop the confidence and your abilities. And others will see that as well. And that one potential guy, that your attacker that you've been training all your life for, has just came by, and he's about to attack you, and you stand ready. He just kind of glances at you and goes, "Nope, not today." That's not an easy mark, right? Or he goes, says, "Hey, there's 3 of us now." Well, that's right. So that's a little different. But breaking it all down, going through all the steps, and you will realize why you're doing these steps. And you realize, oh shit, I don't have to do that one step. And like I said, you're breaking down one motion, one movement, into like 6 or 7 different steps. And once you do that, then you will be proficient at it. So I hope this. I don't know anything else I'd like to cover on this topic. Practice, train. That's the surefire way to train in just about anything. Literally anything, even academics. You know, I'd like to say that yes, there is people that are just naturally great in their abilities, sure, but they don't have that confidence in their abilities that is earned through sweat equity. You know, natural ability and athleticism can help, and is a very formidable trait just to have. So cultivating that in yourself is great, yes. But you're always going to meet somebody that's more confident and more athletic than you, always. Or they have more skill than you. Maybe they don't have great athleticism, but they got great timing, and their skill is very accurate. You know, that's where MMA, that's where Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu comes in. Fencing, same thing. Two men and a sword. The one with the best skill set wins. Not the biggest, not the most biggest, baddest. You know, he's able to fly and flip kick. His sword weighs 20 pounds, and yours weighs 2. Yeah, you might be at a disadvantage, but if you have that basic fundamentals and skill set, and you've built all that, then his little his power tricks are not going to work. You're going to be able to easily move out of the way or deflect them, right? Or manipulate them out of the way. Either way, or just get out of the way. It doesn't matter. You have skill and technique where he has just Hulk smash, which does work, by the way. It instills fear. It instills fear. That commanding presence, that threatening presence, the energy, being just thrown at you. You're just like, oh shit. It can overwhelm you and put you in that instant state of fear, panic, and or shock. Yeah, shock. That's another thing. Is most people get attacked. They see the attack coming. They're watching it. Oh shit! Here it comes. Bam! It happens. They're in shock. They didn't react. So getting your reaction time to doing something, getting your reaction time to that point, this is that builds that reaction time. Because your mind has seen the attack over and over and over and over and over again. And your muscles have responded to that attack over and over and over and over again. Your mind does not realize, it can't just differentiate from your imagination and real life. So in training, you already see it. Boom, target indicator. Here it comes. Here comes the threat. Threat assessed. Boom. I need to react right now. And your mind and body does it, and you're sitting back going, wow, what happened? You kind of feel like you're on a ride. You're not in control. But you are. You're doing it. And it's just instant. That's the level that you want to get to, right? And it's easily attainable. I say easily attainable. It's easily attainable through just practice. Over and over and over again. So I hope this has been informative. That's really what I wanted to discuss. I really don't care. I do care about the fundamentals, and maybe one day you think about the fundamentals. I mean, it's very simple, bam. But how do you get into that fundamental strikes, right? How do you get there? When do you do that fundamental strike? You know, when do you do the fint? When do you fint? You know, when do you step? Oh, I can fint, I can step, I can forward. Boom. That all comes out in the wash after just practice, 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 practice. And that's Kung Fu. That's Shaolin Kung Fu. That's all they do is over and over and over again, where they're stomping holes in the floor that they've been doing for 1,500 years, doing the exact same set of movements over and over and over again. Yeah. So, like I said, I hope this is informative, and it will inspire you to go further in your training. And like I said, it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your disability. You can do something. And you might ask, what is the point? The point is to be dangerous. Dangerous. Capable. As we get older, we become less dangerous. And people perceive that. The predator perceives that. And a predator likes to take advantage of a situation when their prey is weak, at their weakest, or or don't even know. They're oblivious to or they're in shock. You take advantage of that situation, just like we do. But if you don't have that mindset while you're training, your training will show you the advantages of what you're doing and where it can branch off to. You know, I was coming up with the move of the blocking of the kick. You know, the blocking of the kick. Boom. Boom. I mean, boom. Up. I mean, it's so much you can do, and you start to realize what you're doing from just a simple movement, simple direct movement, and you'll freezing in one spot, maybe breathe 4 times, 2. Just setting there. Get as deep as you can. Simple things, you know, boom, can lead to boom, perfection. So I'll leave you with that. It's been Mad Shad, breaking it down for you in my inspired state. Thank you, ex-NYC prepper, for inspiring us, and to all the ascended masters out there, Boom Bandui, Shoju, Shofu, Shozong, Chinjukong. Thank you.